Oh. Ooh. It's a good song. Oh.
We are Denver. This is the DoodleCast with Nicholas Greivel.
You know, I was going to say hello and welcome to the DoodleCast, but, you know. So today we kind of have, like, a much looser show than usual, because I really like the artists we have with us today. We have in the studio. Oh, studio. I'm already getting ahead of myself. We have Aki with us today. She is a monster. She is amazing. In a good way, guys. Don't be scared. And yeah, we're kind of just, we're kind of having a lady magic show, guys. I think that's kind of the
Ladies.
idea. And that's the best. So I just have a really simple quote to kind of start us off, because I think it's also a concept that is pretty relevant to art as well, but also I've thought of it kind of from like a feminine perspective. But do you care or do you stare? An old Kevin Davitt caricature tagline.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Do you care or do you stare?
It's so simple. But yeah, Aki, tell us about yourself. Just let us know who you are.
Definitely still trying to figure that out. And I think this year I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
So who I was does not feel like who I am now. But I don't know, I was kind of playing around like this character that I would like to be and create for myself is kind of like a alien Disney princess Oprah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that.
So that's kind of like what I aspire to be. Yeah, I just like to be someone who just lives life to the fullest always. And
well, I think that you're really on the right path to achieving your goal. I get those alien Disney Princess Oprah vibes from you. Yeah. So, you know, that's perfect. I love it.
I want to do voiceovers one day, and I want to be the first alien Disney princess, even though I think Atlantis, I mean, that's borderline, but
Yeah.
I don't know, I see this whole story in my head, and I'm just like, oh yeah.
Ooh, I really like that idea. Sci-fi Disney princess.
Yeah, because sci-fi is, right now.
Oh man, yeah.
Everything is alien right now.
Everything has to be an alien. It's the only way to represent something these days, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even KFC, they're like, we're sending the first sandwich into space. It's just like, oh my god, are you guys okay?
Yeah, it's I feel weird about that mainstream science fiction, because I've been into science fiction forever, right. And I'm a reader, so I actually read old novels and stuff, and I like to research the history of science fiction and read as many influential authors as I can. But so it's also cool that there's so much science fiction out there in the world right now, and that everyone is kind of gung-ho on it. But at the same time, it's but you're not really you're not getting the real science fiction, man. It's
trendy.
It's in these books, these amazing books, and all of the ideas for all these movies happening. And it comes from a book for sure. So you gotta find those books, because those are the best.
What are some books you would recommend?
Well, so my favorite author, Roger Zelazny, I can't stop talking about him all the time. His most famous series is called The Chronicles of Amber, and it's really, really cool. It's like 12 books, and you can buy them all in one giant book. And I don't know if there's any other book nerds out there. I love just like big books, and I love devouring like these giant books. It's like gives me so much pleasure. But I understand some reading's not for everybody, but I bet you can get it on tape too. You know, books on tape are totally great. You don't have to read. They're just stories. Stories are just so important.
Yeah, I really just enjoy the idea of an oral tradition, even if it's recorded. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those old cultures would be like, wait, what? You can speak the stories to the people, and they can listen to them later?
Right. I've been, like, battling with that, because I'm like, is that cheating? Like, I started reading or listening to Think and Grow Rich, but it was like, once you read it, you'll know the secret. And I'm like, wait, so, like, do I have to read it? Or, like, can I listen to it and I'll still catch it? So I was just like, oh, God, I can't. Like, I'm sinning.
Yeah.
So I was just like, is it the same? I don't know. I hope it is.
I like audiobooks, but probably for the wrong reason. Like, it's mostly because you can play it at, like, 2.5 times speed. And you can just, like, I don't know if I'm necessarily taking the information in. I just feel like I do. I'm like wow, I just took in so much information.
Right. I just read a whole book, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I never got into books on tape, but that's just because I love reading so much.
Yeah.
Like, but I have a lot of friends who love listening to things on tape. I think it kind of all depends on, like when I'm reading, I kind of hear my own voice in my head telling the story. And, I love actually reading aloud because I just think it's, like, the funnest thing. But it's different hearing a story from, like, with your own voice in your head versus the voice of someone else.
Yeah.
Like a British person. To one.
I mean, I'd be pretty cool if Ian McKellen was just everything in every recording of a book.
Morgan Freeman.
Oh my God. I would take a lot of really nice naps. Mm-hmm. Just like, I am going to read this very chill to you. And you're like, oh, wow, thanks, dude.
I haven't, like, noticed, though, like, it does seem like reading is dying. Like,
like, books are, like, it seems going extinct as well.
Yeah, I'm like, what are they gonna do with libraries? Like, what? I don't know. Every time I go into the central library, I'm like, this is, like, it's, like, overwhelming how many books are in there, and just, like, to think about, like, if things do become digital, like, are they just gonna burn all the books? Like, what do they do? Don't even say that. It's like, it's a nightmare. Like, that should be a horror movie.
It is a horror.
The thing that bothers me, like, since forever, is people burning books. It's
right.
Like, why?
I agree. Like, I think some of the biggest tragedies in our history in this specific time dimension is, like, the burning of libraries, like burning of the Library of Alexandria in particular. Like, that's probably, like, the biggest tragedy in history.
They could not leave her alone.
So horrible. Just awful.
That's a whole life. Like, a book it's like a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really is. It has its own, like, life to it. And, yeah. I need to read a person. Oh, I brought a book.
Yeah.
You did bring a book.
So, this book is called Be Here Now. And it is written by this, like, guy who was, like, a professor, and he and some other professors started taking, like, drugs and, like, LSD and stuff, and they're just, like, having very spiritual experiences that they're like, this isn't in our textbooks. And they were just kind of having this obsession with it, almost like they were feeling very free and liberated and questioning like what they were teaching their students, because they didn't really like resonate with it as much. And some of the other professors were like, all right, y'all are becoming like drug addicts, like y'all need to stop. And he ended up getting like fired, and he still was like, I need to pursue this spiritual path, like I've never felt anything like this. So he like went to India and totally just was like left everything he knew behind. And it's just kind of like his journey, and still just like searching for spirituality. But that's just kind of the first part, and then the rest of it was kind of like the school that got developed like out of his teachings. And there's just a lot of drawings, and I don't know if the camera sees it, but drawings and really, really like deep spiritual, like I don't know what it just poem. I don't know what notes, I guess.
Ideas or thoughts, even, it seems.
Yeah.
You should show the cover to everybody, because I'm sure you've seen this book, those of you watching. It's really, really cool to flip through, and like even just open up to a random page on any particular day and just like, ruminate on that page for a while.
And it was only like $15. I got this one at Herbs and Arts. But yeah, this book, it just came at the right time. Like it just totally was like what I needed.
Nice.
And today, since we're kind of talking about like how tight women are, this page that Kat actually flipped to has like this really tight woman who's like, yup. And
that's exactly what she's like.
And it says, all you can do is honor her and love her, and she becomes exquisite, and she's pulling you, and that's really something. Because if you say, wow, lady, I know who you are, you're the keeper of this reform school, that's attachment. Can't have her, can't reject her, can't live with her, can't put her away. Just honor and honor her. Divine Mother, you've got to worship her. So, I've been resonating with that a lot lately, about just the divineness of women, and just like how, I don't know if a lot of the society really honors women in the way that I believe women should be honored. It's just kind of like sad, like they're really responsible for life and continuing humanity, but yet a lot of women are just treated like we're just here to cook dinner and like lay down and have sex and stuff, and that's just like not.
Yeah, well, I think about this a lot, and, like the origins of this, like, destructive society that we live in, and it really, really started with, like, these witch hunts, It was targeting women, targeting matriarchies, and destroying them. And this new patriarchal society that we still live in to this day has just persisted. And that really is at the root of like this huge change that happened in our history, from the goddess to God.
Yeah, I was actually just watching a video about it was about blood types, because I have a really weird blood type, and it was talking about like the origin of negative blood types.
Where do you O neg?
No, I'm A negative.
Okay.
I know, real rare, but just like how the origins of that blood type might have been like from gods who kind of wanted to help out a less like developed civilization that was on Earth as well. Like they're like, hey, we're gonna help their DNA out and help them advance a little bit faster. So that's where negative blood types supposedly came from. But while these beings were learning, they were learning a lot, from the gods and a lot from the women. Like, the women were really powerful during that time. People really looked up to them, and even the calendar was going according to the moon, because that's what, rules women. But then, I guess men started being like, hey, we want to feel powerful too.
Yeah.
And then, that's when, they started turning on women. They're like, all right, now the calendar is going to go, according to us, which is the sun, and that has 12 months instead of 13 months.
Yep.
So they really, changed a lot, and I've been having a hard time, processing, my witch hunt stuff lately, because I really feel like in a past life, I somehow, that really affected me, whether I was a witch or burned or something, or just feeling like a powerful woman and just feeling misunderstood and feeling punished for being this really godly creature. It's just hurtful. And
yeah, that's really interesting. I think that we've known each other for a while, Aki, and you just you have this very feminine spirit. I can totally see that you've been a woman probably in most of your
so crazy, because I really feel like I've been a man. I feel manly.
I think maybe that comes from this power that you exude, which in our society is prescribed as something very manly. But really, I think at the essence of it, it is something incredibly female.
Yeah, I've been kind of feeling that lately too. Maybe gender is really weird now, and I do think women are more masculine, and men are more what we consider feminine. I feel
right.
It's weird, and I feel now, because there is this shift happening, I feel a lot of men are coming into balance with their feminine side, because everyone has both energies, and so a lot of men are coming into balance with their feminine side, and women are coming into balance with their masculine side. But I think maybe a lot of men, because they don't really, know where to put that energy, and they're maybe I'm gay, and they're just oh God, I'm having feelings, I'm having these qualities, that means, I'm gay, which maybe it doesn't, maybe for some people, of course, but maybe they just have never learned how to express emotions, and so they have all these stories about them. But I do feel the woman is coming, or the mother, or whatever, this feminine energy is coming back, because it's all right.
Yeah, it's you guys aren't doing this right.
Right, this is a little bit out of balance. And
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's there's always just, and it's not necessarily gender specific even, but I think that it does relate to just general sexual insecurity in our society, and that's those people that will try to power trip off you. Yeah. It's just what are you doing? What?
Yeah.
Are you? You're not here to control me. What are you crazy people?
Right. Yeah. What is with the power hungriness? It's just really.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's how you get power. The more people you can control, the more power you have. That's how it's been since the fall of the goddess.
Yeah.
So
it's in the end, power doesn't. I don't think it really does anything for anyone.
Well, and power is something different to almost everyone,
Yeah.
There's no one definition of what that means to be powerful. But I think it's an important force that everyone should feel. You should feel you are powerful, no matter where you're at in your life, or what your circumstances are. We are all really, really powerful.
True.
And I don't know, I feel every time we talk, we always come back to this, but the collective consciousness, we are so powerful because we are so one, and if you can tap into that, you can evolve.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the type of power that is like dominance. You know, people are like, I'm superior, you know, I'm more powerful, instead of just being like, we're all powerful.
Yeah,
right.
Power through separation and not oneness. And some people find a lot of power in keeping things separate. I was thinking about this last night because I was talking to this homeless guy during Meet in the Street yesterday, and we were talking about sci-fi, much like we were talking about just earlier, and somehow turned into a conversation about the police, which then turned into race, and you know, we agreed on most things, and then we got to race, and he expressed to me this preference towards keeping things separate. He's like, I'm not a racist, but you know, I feel more comfortable when things are separate. And I was like, all right. I was like, I can't truly understand your opinion. Like, thank you for sharing it with me. But to me, you know, that's exactly what humanity needs the least, is keeping things separate. We need to like come together way more and realize the power that we have in that.
Well, yeah, it's like, if you've ever been in like an abusive relationship or anything like that, it's like that. Like, one of the things that like really generically happens is like you get separated from other people, you get isolated, you know, and our society does that to people. So it's a weird cycle for sure.
Yeah, it is incredibly weird.
It's like, oh. And I think we can break free of it, guys.
I do too. I just think
work. Yeah.
I just think people just need an alternative. Like, we're obviously in a shift. Like, we're like, there's no way, like with our generation and like the generations that are coming up, they're just like, this does not feel right. Like, they're just like, I ain't paying no 30-year mortgage. What the like, so we have to create something different. And I think people know that, but they just like, they don't know where to begin in doing that. And they're like, I don't know how to create the alternative. Like, but I feel like I'm doing it. So.
Yeah. Well, when people all have like their different delusions, like, oh, that's not me, though, you know, for whatever reason. Like, they're like, well, but I've been working at this office for 20 years, you know, like. Yeah,
I think it's like fear of change at the end of the day. A lot of people need these constants in order to survive, but it's just such a crazy illusion because nothing is constant. Right. So when you're trying to, what?
Change is constant.
Okay. I was like, what?
That's the irony about that. You know?
Yeah. And if you don't realize that, then you're just stuck.
Yes. Oh, man.
You're just incredibly stuck.
Well, it's not like there's anything anybody can necessarily say to pull you out of that.
No, you have to just realize it yourself. Yeah, that's a hard thing for a lot of people who just want to help people to realize. Because I'm like that, and I think all of us are kind of like that. Like, we really just want to help other people and create this oneness that we've been talking about. But it's something that people have to realize on their own. And even once you've realized it, like, I find myself guilty of this. Like, I don't seize as many opportunities as I should, or, you know, collaborate with other people on things as much as I should. And I probably don't try as hard as I could also at the same time. So, I don't know. I often deal with a lot of, like, weird guilt for stuff like that. Like, But you can't at the end of the day. It's like you just have to do what you're doing and try your best and just be here now, right? That's the most important thing.
Or later if you can, whatever.
Or be here sometime.
Just be here. Just be here.
That's what you're here for, everybody.
Right.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Right. I had this like epiphany the other day that I was just like, like maybe I'm just here for the food. Like maybe just that's all. I'm here for in life. And that, for some reason, that like literally it felt like this whole like cloud had been lifted, and I was like, that makes me actually so much happier. like
be here for the food.
Right, like, and if I happen to, you know, do a fashion show or do something else, cool. But if I don't, at least I ate today.
Oh my
Right.
god. Be here for the food.
Yeah.
A lot of
man.
times I'm like, did I eat?
Right.
I don't know if we are here for the food. I think it's overrated.
Oh no, man.
Well,
It's delicious, and I love it.
yeah, I mean, eventually,
need it.
you know,
The food was here before us.
true,
Yes.
but not the GMOs.
Oh well. Yeah. So I feel that. A lot of the food that we're ingesting in this country is like just horrible.
It's not even, I don't even think it has nutrition, like any nutritional value in it. But that makes me wonder, like, okay, then maybe, yeah, we really don't need food. Like, it's just entertainment. And
But we do need food, and I feel like we need to grow our own food. Like I've been talking about this to people recently, and I want to make shirts that just say "fuck your lawn," because I think lawn
For
culture
real.
is like
It's
one
like,
of the
why?
most randomly destructive things that people don't realize is so destructive. Yeah, I was just like, fuck your lawn, grow a garden. Like, we don't have to be a part of this, like, corporate food system. If you don't want to be, like, you can feed your family by growing your own food or, you know, supporting people that locally grow food. And I know it's hard to do because of the society we live in, but, like, it's something that people should make an effort to do. And I wish I could do more. And, you know, I live in a tiny apartment. We live in a tiny apartment, so...
But now there's a lot of inventions that are being created that you can like hang up stuff or whatever. But gardening is like, that's like that master level. Like, it takes so much patience, so much dedication, so much love, so much intuitiveness.
Those are all the most important things in life.
And like,
learn.
if people did learn, like, you know, how to garden, I'm sure their, you know, personalities or nature would just be so much more compassionate because they would have this really understanding of like nature. And like, that's why I love Kavum so much. He really, you know, thinks that, you know, if the hoods or the gardens or like, if people, you know, gardened instead, they wouldn't really want to turn to violence because their life now is oriented about like keeping things alive.
Yeah.
And so like your mindset is totally different. Like you see a person as like a plant and you're like, well, I'm not, like, you have this nurturing spirit, so you can't, it's like you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like you just, your whole life is like totally changed. So I think it's coming, like, especially, I guess, I haven't even seen this movie, What the Health, but a lot of people have been like, I'm vegan now. like,
Okay.
right, like, okay.
I respect people that make those decisions. It's so hard for me, though. Every time I've tried to be vegetarian, I've, like, well, I do feel like our bodies, because we've lived like this for so long, and, like, because, you know, my parents didn't realize that all these things were happening, like, that my parents' didn't realize these things were happening, and they've just been ingesting, like, pretty much poison. And it actually is in our genetics now. So I've inherited these things. And yeah, it's like, it's just, I feel like I cannot live without meat. Every time I've tried to be a vegetarian, I've just gotten like horribly unhealthy. Even like, you know, I eat vegetables. I'm not picky at all. I love all food, but I just need meat.
I mean, I definitely prefer fruits and veggies to meat.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that's, you know, kind of how humans are built. I do think that some humans have canines, though. I mean, we all have canines, but some people actually do have, like, legitimate lacerating looking ass canines. Like, so I think that, you know, some people are definitely made for the meat life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different species of humans, like,
It's true. It's very true.
and I guess your blood type too determines a lot of like your diet, and some people, yeah, might need meat. I just think, And I think it's maybe not like meat so much that's the problem. It's just how.
It's just corporate food, really.
Yeah, and like,
the fact that food has become a corporate thing is just really horrible.
Yeah, like, we cannot treat animals like this. Like, we cannot.
I know.
And expect also for that trauma that they felt not to be in that, like, in the meat that we eat. Like, you're eating, that trauma. So
I think, in an ideal world, if you choose to eat meat, you would have to raise it yourself and kill it yourself.
Yeah.
And if you cannot do that, then don't eat meat,
right.
You need to live with those consequences of, like, taking something else's life. And you need to take it yourself.
Right.
And, like, that's something I think about a lot, because I've never had that experience of, like, taking something else's life. But, like, I feel like I could do it. At the same, that's how I want to live. Like, I want to have my own chickens and cows and pigs, and, like, as hard as it will be probably to make that decision and be, all right, now it's time for me to eat you. Yeah. It's like something I think that would be really gratifying to me, though. At the same time, it's like, okay, yes, I loved this animal, and that just made it more tasty, right?
Yeah.
I think some people get really mad at me for, I'm sure, like, there's some, PETA people cringing.
They're like, oh my god. I mean, no, like, I totally
I don't think I
see
could
it.
kill an animal I raised.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Yeah.
Well, you're much more of a vegetarian than me, Nicholas.
Well,
I think I could do it.
I couldn't look an animal in its soulful little eyes and just be like, oh, fuck, I have so many memories with you, dude. I'm not gonna kill you. Like,
when we went to the park.
yeah, I would, like, start crying.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's a natural part of the worship of this thing. Like,
I don't know. Do Hindus kill cows yet?
No. I guess there's just different kinds of worship, but
I know, but they're like chickens,
Yeah.
cows. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I look into my ancestral upbringing, and remember my great grandma telling me that my great grandfather came from, like, Mayan blood, and I remember getting fascinated by the Mayans, and they and the Aztecs, and they participated in human sacrifice, and that's something that seems so horrible to us right now. But when I try to, like, think about it like I was living back then, and it's like death brings life. Like, it's a cycle. It's necessary. You need to uphold these things, even if it's really hard. So I don't know, when I think about it like that, it's like, if I'm going to kill this cow that I raised, it's not like I'm killing a child I raised, which people did.
Yeah.
Still do.
Oh, yeah, people kill children every day, but yeah. I'm just, like, maybe not so much for, like, sacrificial reasons or for, like, insane reasons.
No, it's just a new rite, new ritual. They just don't call it that yet because it's not in a history textbook 1,000 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, if you look at, like, what our culture does to kids, I think if you look at that from a perspective that's very removed from us in this current time, yeah, it would probably be equally as horrifying in a lot of ways.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
I think, like, you come from the perspective, like, life is infinite, so, like, what is a lot? You're like, am I really killing you? I don't know. You're just not here anymore. But, I can, like, understand it. I can even, like, accept it, but it's still, like, now, just from the past few months, like, things I thought, like, yeah, if I ever had a kid, like, I wouldn't, just, like, abortion was just it's a hard situation when you're confronted with it, so I'm just like,
Yeah, it's definitely hard to imagine.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have so much, like, respect for people who make the choices like they need to, and that for me was like such a hard choice to make, and like I just couldn't do it. Like, it's just not something I felt right about, or like I didn't feel like I had the right to take away, you know, someone's life that I hadn't like even met. So like, you know, because what if this person is like Michael Jackson? But also like, what if they're like Hitler? Or, like, I don't know. So but it's like, it's not, I don't know how much the universe is going to change without their presence. And I like, literally, you can alter the whole course of the universe, you know, whether you bring in a life or you don't. And that's just such a hard decision to make.
It is. Well, especially because we live in a society where it's hard to be a mother. It really, really is. It is not something that is upholded with the respect that it should be. And therefore, that's why a lot of women like turn to abortions. You know, in an ideal world, we wouldn't need abortion. Sure, I agree with that. Like, I do. But I'm very pro-abortion because we don't live in an ideal world, and people need to make this choice for themselves whether or not they want to go through this, what has become a hardship, even though it shouldn't be. I think mothers are the most beautiful thing in the world. I really do. And you've actually got a kind of a thing coming up for mothers and expecting mothers, right, Aki? Talk about that.
So I have like this friend who, you know, she wanted to like kind of help me out, and she's like, hey, like, let's plan like something for, you know, moms and expecting moms, so, you know, they can connect and like learn, because there's so much information out there. And they're actually in Colorado, you can really get a lot of help and like resources. You know, if you just really don't have that support and stuff, or the resource, like money to do stuff. So we're just trying to like share, you know, as much as we can with moms and stuff, and also like just give moms a chance to like relax, you know, like, so when you buy a ticket, you get like a free facial, and we have like performers. We have like Caleb Marquis performing, and like a lot of other people. My mom is one of the guest speakers.
That's awesome.
So it's gonna be like really cool. And we still have like a month until it comes up. It happens on August 20th.
Cool.
And it's on this place called like 14th and Calumet, so by Auraria campus. But yeah, we're on like Facebook. It's Mothers and Expecting Mothers Expo, and I'm really excited for this event. Like, it's been a minute since I've thrown an event, and like this one's kind of like ambitious, and we have like a lot of people who are trying to pay, and it's like,
I would love to help if you guys need help with any. Even you know, what just popped into my head was like childcare at the event. That's something I would be super down to do. I work at an elementary school, and I love hanging out with kids. And
because we were like debating, because I was like, I don't want to tell a mom she can't bring her kids. You know,
well,
like,
that's the point of the event, right?
But also we want them to be able to like enjoy themselves, you know, and like not have to be like, you know, tied up with their kids, because it's like, it's for them. It's
for them to relax. So if you don't want a kid there, you shouldn't, but you can bring them, and there will be childcare provided.
Because it's like, you're already, you know, paying $30 for a ticket, and if you have to pay for a babysitter, you know, like, that's hard.
I would even just volunteer free childcare. I'm super down. I would love to do that. Yeah, that's my thing, man. I'm always taking care of other people's kids. Like, I get texts from moms like almost on the daily.
Right.
Like,
hey, are you free?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm always like, all right, I can't say no to moms. And like, I just love to help mamas. I just love to help mamas. I can't say no, because they don't get enough help in this world. Like, and you know,
so we need to bring the community back. Like, it really does take a village. It really, 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 really does. And like, the U.S. is not.
There's no solidarity. There's no solidarity.
It's not. People are like, "Why are you looking at me?" Like, jeez.
Yeah, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes an empire to destroy them all.
An individualistic empire, yeah, where it's just like, you gotta pull yourself up from your bootstraps.
I know. Like, everyone doesn't need their own house, but, I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice, but also it's nice, like, when you have, like, a house and it's like, oh, someone cooked dinner for everyone. Like, or, cool, you can take care of that, and, I don't know, just learn how to work together.
That's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I think now in Denver, we're kind of being, like, forced to do that, because it's like, nobody can pay the rent, so they're like, all right, I got 5 roommates, and, we're making it work.
Hopefully by the 8th, dude, it won't be too terrible.
I've lived with 8 people in one house with 1 bathroom.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, 2 girls and 6 boys in one weird house with 1 bathroom.
Yeah.
Shout out to my homies in Portland.
I just have like a couple intermediate plugs, and then we can keep talking. So there's like this weird kind of beatnik doo-wop kind of show coming up. It's Baby Tony and the Teenies, a band called C-Bomb, another one Yeso, and Hello Darkness on August 5th of this year, 2017, from 7 to 11 p.m. at Backspace Denver. And yeah, it sounds like a pretty cool sock hop, kids.
All year of the Lord,
yes.
2017.
Amen. And then again, I know I've been plugging this a bunch, but I think it's going to be really cool if you ever want to learn how to do juggling or really any flow arts. I think that they're even doing classes by donation. But again, the Denver Juggling Festival that's coming up, you can look it up online on August 10th. And then this evening, guys, a really awesome dude. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Khalil! And he is playing with a series of DJs, just kind of celebrating, partying, from 3 to 9 p.m. at the Meadow Lark. And the DJs are DJ Revolution, DJ Spin Bad, love your name, DJ Low Key, and Sound Supreme. Ooh. And yeah, again, that's tonight, or this afternoon, really, at the Meadow Lark. And yeah, just while we're on the subject of plugs, do you have anything else coming up, Aki?
Ooh, I do.
Yeah.
You always do.
Well, I didn't for a while. It's been so weird. Every time I go out now, people are like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever," and I'm like, "Really?" Like, I guess.
Around.
But now all of a sudden I have like 50 million things coming up. But I just kind of confirmed to do this fashion show with Raw Denver. They're this organization that like throws art shows all around like the country, and every 3 months, or I think 3 or 6 months. But this year it's at the Church nightclub on August 10th, and I'm doing a fashion show there. They're gonna have like 60 artists of like all mediums, like doing their own thing. So yeah, I have like 8 outfits, and I'm making them like all brand new. A really, really cool theme for it, and I don't know, I'm excited. Like, I haven't really started working on anything yet, but I'm excited to see how it turns out.
If you guys have never seen Aki's clothing, it's amazing. Her company's called Absolute Vibe. She just makes the coolest clothes, for real.
Thanks. I think these are going to be my coolest clothes yet.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, shit. Yes.
What?
Yeah. I think I've like literally leveled up, you know, and like
This goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I'm on like level 9,000. But I'm like really excited to see what I do, and like I think the universe kind of just like go. Go. Like I could not say no to this opportunity, so I'm really excited. And it's really like a really organized event, and I was just kind of like, they gave me like this whole profile on their website and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, wait, this is like serious.
That's so cool.
You even get the opportunity to do another show in any city of your choice, like after doing this, like for free. What? And I'm like, oh my god,
that's crazy.
So
that's awesome.
So that's the expo. Also, yeah, there's a few things I can't announce yet, but they're really exciting too that are happening in August. There's like 4 things happening in August, and then also
secret shows.
I'm announcing probably the sex of my baby this month, or in August. Yeah. So
awesome.
It's very
That's exciting.
Fingers crossed for a girl. Right?
For real. If it's not a girl, I don't know, man.
We're talking about women. Y'all want a baby. Me and they're like, no. Either way, babies are blessings. I know I say that, so like, babies are blessings. But it's really true. And like I said, I love children. I just, I'm not ready for one, but when are you really ready, though, at the end of the day? Like, there's probably never going to be a point where I'm like, I'm ready for this. But, because, I was the product of a teen pregnancy, like, total accident. Yeah, and, like, I'm thankful for the chance at life that my mother gave me, so. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It's the most glorious experience, like, oh god. I've never experienced so many different emotions in my life in a short period of time.
That's crazy, because you're like an emotional person. Like,
I know,
an empathic person, so you feel other people's emotions to some extent too.
Like, every day is like a roller coaster, but lately I'm like, okay, alright, I accept it, I'm doing it, and I'm gonna freaking be the tightest, like, at this. And
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, like, man, I just feel like I understand God in so many ways now. Like, one, the first, like, phase was just, like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna honor this life? Or am I gonna, like, just be like, nah, you don't deserve to live. Like, I get to choose whether someone's, like, worthy of life or not. And then the second one is just, like, me, like, can I do this? Like, am I powerful enough? Like, am I really, equipped for this? And then, like, second one is, like, who is there for me? Or is, like, is it my journey alone? Like, what is my lesson in this? Like, what do I have to teach other people from this? And I don't know, it's just, like, then deciding, I'm sure when you become a parent, it's like deciding what kind of God you're going to be, because you could be a really controlling, all-knowing God, or you could be that loving, nurturing God who's like just, there to listen and be compassionate and stuff. And I don't know, it's just, there's so many levels, and I just feel like I'm just glad I get to understand, like, nature a little bit more. And, like, there was, like, a moth that landed on my, like, windshield, and I was like, oh, like, you were someone's baby. And I was just like, because I was gonna, like, try to get them off, but I was just like, oh, I can't hurt them, like, they're that's someone's baby. And, like, I just started looking at everything like that, like, oh my gosh, like, did your mom have all these feelings too? Like, your little insect mom, she was like, oh god, I have to have a baby and take care of it. And I don't know, it's just, it makes you see life in a very different way. And I'm very appreciative to be a woman this lifetime, and I hope everyone gets that experience. Well,
just imagine with these insect moms, like, they don't just have babies, instant broods. Like, whoa.
For real. I know spider moms who have, like, hundreds of just
probably gonna get eaten by your kids,
I know.
Yeah, spiders don't really have emotions in the same ways that a human would ascribe to it. They have, like, needs, but not emotions, I would say. There's, like, there's certain species that really don't give a shit about their children. But I would say there's a majority of species that care for their children, though, which is interesting. Like, I think that the Earth is more nurturing than not.
Of course, like, we would not still be alive if it wasn't. I feel like Earth is, like, very patient. It's like, okay. Okay, y'all.
Mother Earth, right? So when I was talking to this homeless guy, so this bring me to everything, he was talking about Mother Earth too, but he was like, we're all in the womb, man. This is Mother Earth, and like when we like get born, we're gonna be going off into space and like the galaxy, and we need to expand and like all this shit. He's like, we're still in the womb, like.
It does feel like it. I feel like I'm just like learning, getting prepared for like my mission,
Right.
like or something. Like Earth does feel like a training ground.
I don't know. It feels like I don't know. This could just be me, but there's been something in the air that's just like, it's like, hey, the world is telling you what you're up to right now. You need to listen.
Yeah, I think that's part of like what Augie was saying earlier. Like we're just in this like transition kind of, and I think everyone sort of feels it.
Yeah. I just don't think a lot of people are conscious of it. They're still like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
and that's what I feel like for me, like one of my roles in life is just to help people, be like, one, okay, you're not crazy, you're not going crazy. It's okay. Like, things are happening. And then just to be like, all right, like now, you have this choice of how you want to operate in life. Like every day you make a choice, like whether you're like, all right, I'm gonna go pee now, or I'm gonna just lay here and be on my phone, or I'm gonna eat 50 pounds of bacon for breakfast, or I'm gonna eat like some apples. Like, you're always making choices, but a lot of people aren't making conscious choices. So they're kind of just like on autopilot, just like living. But I think when you have that opportunity to like realize like, whoa, I'm creating my life. Like, I'm creating what I do because I'm making choices. That's when, like, I think the path of consciousness starts. And then you're like, whoa, well, what life do I want to create? Like, maybe I don't want to go to work every day. Like, maybe I actually want to travel and go to the park and hang out. Like, so then you start creating this alternative. And then that's where it's, like, up to you to choose and create your own reality. So consciously creating your reality. Conscious creatives.
Yeah.
Break your routine, man.
Yeah, but I want to be the person who's just like, yo, you do have a choice. Like, just wanted to know that. All right, whatever, bye. Like, just as long as you know that, I don't care what you choose, but just like free will is a thing now. Like, it's always been a thing, but I think it's becoming more of a thing. Yeah. And when people aren't choosing consciously, I don't think that helps the vibration of, entire life. Like, people just on autopilot and being zombies, that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't move us forward.
Yep.
Well, it's just like finding your own can be an overwhelming thing, and I think a lot of people just shut down too.
Yeah. That's because they probably don't have a lot of support, and they don't know where to begin. Like, they don't have people to talk to about this. Their parents are like, just get a job. No, but mom, like,
I'm not made for this.
Right, like, this is... And so you have that internal battle because, like, what you're being told doesn't resonate with you, but you don't have that alternative. You don't have anyone saying, like, yo, you don't have to, actually. So I just want to, like, help, be that person for anyone who just feels like they are on autopilot, but they don't want to be, but they don't know what else to do. So...
What would be your biggest advice to someone that, feels stuck like that or on autopilot and can't really break it?
I mean, find the artist. I guess, like, now there's YouTube, so it's really like, you just gotta ask yourself, what do you want? And that is sometimes, like, the hardest question. Like, what do you really want? And if the life that your living isn't what you want, then there goes your work. You know, like, you gotta get on your path, and like just putting yourself around people that you feel just elevated by, like, I think that's just the biggest thing. Like, you might not for a while be able to uplift yourself, but putting yourself around like that vibration will naturally kind of like cause it to happen. So it's just like, find your support system, and like, don't isolate yourself when you feel alone, but also don't numb yourself. I've been noticing a lot of people doing that lately.
Yeah. Definitely. It's amazing advice, Saki.
Thanks.
Let's see. Ooh, I like what you guys have been doing.
Yeah, our doodles are
Where's your first one, Nicholas? I didn't really see it. Oh,
so tight.
It's very weird.
Cool, dude. I've been really into like these weird shapes
so
with the
cool.
triangles.
Yeah.
It's like Aztec goddess.
Yeah, I'm not very good at like drawing people, but I've found this way of just using triangles to make human forms that I've been really digging. I've been really digging lately.
Super cool.
Ooh, I like this song.
It's a classic.
Wait, what? It's like a remix.
Yeah, it's definitely sampled. Going back to gardening for some reason, I'm just like, I really do think this is something that everyone should try to accomplish. And the best gardener I know is Nicholas here, actually. And Nicholas, do you think that like your involvement in gardening, like your grandma taught you how to garden, right?
My great-grandmother.
Great-grandma. Do you think your involvement in gardening has made you like a more compassionate person, like Aki was speculating earlier?
Oh, absolutely. Like the way you're talking about like insects and like being like, that's somebody's mother. Like, I totally got that just from taking care of plants. I'm like, they're my babies, you know, like, I don't know, it's pretty weird. And yeah, you get these weird little cultures in your garden, and a lot of people do things like they'll grow clover for shade cover for their plants and have worms tilling the soil. I secretly want to go to the park and collect ladybugs and make them a happy home and just have a ladybug colony hanging out.
Maybe if we had a yard, Nicholas.
Yeah.
a ladybug colony in a like 100 square foot apartment doesn't sound
Come on.
like the best thing to me.
If you wake up with a ladybug,
He's always
crawling
trying
on
to
your
convince
face.
me of the zaniest shit in our tiny apartment. Like, I'm just gonna grow a bunch of agave and make my own tequila.
Yeah, that's the problem with gardening is you kind of need like
You just
a
need more
space for
space.
it, or you need.
If we
to
had
be
a
crazy
yard, I'd be
person.
like, go for it.
You just walk in and it's like forest, like in Jumanji.
I couldn't deal. I don't know if I could deal.
Yeah, that's totally. That's how my first apartment was. Like, I just kind of let plants take it over. It was like I kind of forgot that I lived there. You know. Because, like, there's certain things that are, like, it's totally cool for your plants. Like, I would mix all my nutrients and everything in, like, my bathtub. So I'd basically be, like, taking showers, standing in dirt in an apartment.
Hey, I bet you're enriched.
Oh, I hope so. Mm-hmm. I'm high in potassium now.
Yeah, we should just plant you in the ground, call it a day.
Yeah. Dig me a hole.
Pour some water on you every once in a while.
You'd be like totally, I feel like you would make your own plant somehow. Like you'd find out how to breed some plants and then we could call it the Nick G.
Make a new
Jeeble
species
seed.
of plant. It's like a mixture of San Pedro cactuses and weed. Genetically hybridized.
When you smoke it, it tells you what you need to do today. People are like, what?
This has It's been a great time talking to you guys. I'm glad this is how I started my day.
Right. I'm like, I want it to end.
Coming in this morning, I was like, oh, it's too early for Kat.
Chill for a little bit. It's cool. But yeah, we are kind of coming up close to the end. I gave you guys all the normal plugs, but I know anybody that's listening to this, we have Meet in the Street coming up again this weekend.
We are Denver.
You can come hang out with me. I'll be running sound. Kat will be distributing chalk. Or maybe something else.
Talking to homeless men. That's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
Which actually
awesome.
Worked out yesterday for us really well, but that's another day maybe.
It kind of...
Well, because these homeless men started being assholes because they were getting really drunk, and then I was like, Ed, because I knew their names, and I've been talking to them. I was like, Ed, Steve, you guys gotta stop.
So I love
So funny.
Yeah, I mean, crazy comes out of the woodwork. It's
I mean, it just comes out of everyone sometimes, especially when you're drunk, but...
Yeah,
we are Denver, Meet in the Street. Come chill with us. We're going to be out there. Aki will probably be there. She's been coming by.
I love it.
It's really fun,
Saturdays
actually.
So fun. I think there's no way I'm gonna be out here all day. And then yesterday I was downtown till 11 p.m. Seriously, I was like, what the? Okay.
I feel like you're covered in filth by the end of the day, but it's worth it.
I mean, the block is magical. We have all the cacti
And the crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the rest of the podcast today. We're out here trying to do the most.
We are recording at this amazing space, Ghost House Denver. We're in here every week. So I just want to shout them out. Shout out Rich, who's back there running the boards for us.
Yes.
And Miles, who's also aiding and abetting in the sound.
Samson.
We got Samson back here making sure everything is crisp and clean and on the scene.
Well, have a great Sunday, everyone. Much love. Peace.
Yeah.
Love you.
Break your routine.
DoodleCast.
Respect women.
Yeah. Treat people like people.